Boker Tov, we are continuing Mishle, Perek Bet, Pasuk, Yudchet. Kishacha en mavet beta ve'refaim magelotea. When a person is not connected to Torah, a person could sink to death in his home. We'll see what that means. Ve'refaim magelotea, and weakness, losing a grip in your ma'agal, in your wheel, in your day-to-day, in your schedule. So the Gaon of Vilna explains over here, death in your home. He says, the Torah tells us, B'shivtecha bevetecha, when you're sitting in your home, you have to be learning Torah as well. And if a person, even in their home, where generally there's no things to sin with in your home, unfortunately nowadays, computers, these things, but there's no, your home, but still people are trying to run after their ta'ava, run after their lust, and thinking and planning sin, even when sitting at home, that is total opposite of Torah, of Chaim, and that brings Chas v'Shalom Mavet in a person spiritually. And weakness in their schedule, Refaim Agelotea, in their Ma'agal, he says, is that there's people that run after money. And they run after it, and they'll travel to countries and this and that. And there's so much strength for that. But when it comes to, hey, come to shul, do some mitzvot, Torah, no, I'm too tired. It's too, what's that? You're running like crazy for this, and traveling and staying up late and waking up early. When it comes to mitzvot and Torah, that's kaved, that's weak, that's heavy for you, and you become weak in it. And it's like a teeter-totter. If you're putting too much strength in things that are contrary to Torah, then you will be weak in Torah and mitzvot. So the next pasuk, Kol ba'eha lo yeshuvun velo yasigu orchot chaim. Yeshuvun from the word teshuvah. Kol ba'eha, those that come toward it, come toward averot lo aleinu, come toward ta'ava, come toward the chemda of money and the lust of averot, lo yeshuvun, and they say to themselves, let me do whatever I want, teshuvah, whatever, let me do whatever I want. It's very, very difficult for them. Lo yeshuvun, they won't come back. It's very difficult for them if they decided, let me do whatever I want and whatever, I won't teshuvah, who cares, whatever. That type of person level to come back is very difficult. Lo yasigu orchot chaim, unfortunately, they will not come onto the path of life, onto the path of true life. As he says, ki ata'ava hu hipucha Torah. The ta'ava, lust, is the opposite of Torah. And when a person is glued to his ta'ava, it's very difficult, very, very difficult for Torah to seep in. He quotes the Midrash that says, even when a person wants to connect to Torah and mitzvot, but he's also connected to ta'ava, so you want to eat Torah and mitzvot, so to speak, you want to fulfill, make sure also not to eat ta'ava, not to go after your lusts, because those two can't sit together. There's the end of the story I once heard of a person who lived in Dallas. I probably said this story before. And he got a little bit inspired, but he was a businessman, and he had a schedule every 2 weeks from Dallas to fly to Miami to go to a special restaurant to eat shrimp on the beach over there, a special restaurant. And this is what his life was. And he couldn't, and he was a whatever businessman, married man, but he had this thing every 2 weeks he's got to travel there. But somehow he got a little bit inspired in Dallas, and he was doing a little bit more Torah, a little bit more mitzvot, but he still, every 2 weeks, went to Miami, he had to have his shrimp, and he flew back. And he couldn't let it go. But it came to a point where, what's your life? Is this your life, or is this your life? You can't hold two at the same time. And he made the right decision, and he let it go. A similar story I once heard was a person that was married to a non-Jew that started becoming more and more religious. And somehow started becoming more religious. Maybe he came because of Kaddish for a parent or something. And this person, even though he's married to a non-Jew, got to a point of finishing, we're talking about Shas Mishnayot. He finished Shas Mishnayot, even though he was still married to a non-Jew, but it got to a point, it can't exist together. So Chas v'Shalom, they got a break. That's not Chas v'Shalom, but that's, or she's got to convert. It's got to be proper. I don't know the end of that story. That's the truth. But hopefully it ended in a good way. Yeah, hopefully it ended in a good way. right? But the two can't reside. The two can't reside together, and that's over here. It Chas V'Shalom leads us. Mavet beta lo yasigu orchot chaim. They won't come on the proper path. Bezrat Hashem, may we always be on the path of Chaim, Torah, and Mitzvot. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashya Amar Ratzak Kadosh Baruch Hu lezakot et Yisrael lefi chachiv adam Torah shene'emar Adonai chafetz man tzidko yagdil Torah ve'yadir.